welcome to the 2015 NSA election. Thank you for coming and taking the time to learn more about your candidates. The debate will begin shortly. The layout of the debate will be as follows. One of the 5 executive positions will be picked at random. Once selected, the questions will be chosen at random from a list of selected questions. Each candidate vying for the position will then have 2 minutes to answer the same question. Candidates, please keep in mind that I will be stopping you if you do take longer than 2 minutes, okay? After all candidates within the particular position have had a chance to answer, I will open the floor for Q&A. When asking your questions, please make sure that you are directing it to the position, not the specific candidate. And I'll be going alphabetical order, okay? And the first position is Director of Communications and Internal. So can I please have Gavin Deep and Alex Stewart? Question. All right, your question is, George Brown is a diverse college. What ways do you strive to represent all students? We'll start with you, Gavin.
So, hello folks, as you know, my name is Gavin Deep and I'm a current Director of Public Relations for Student Association. I'm running for Director of Communication and Internal Affairs for this upcoming election. I know George Brown is a diverse college. So last year, we promoted too much student association services, and we promoted too much student association events. We did multicultural events. In the upcoming year, we're trying to make it more diverse by doing more multicultural events. Because I have a few of my friends have a few international clubs. They have some Chinese clubs. They have some African clubs, right? Yeah, African. This is my friend too. So African clubs. And a few of them have Russian clubs. I have European clubs. So we want to make more diverse college. We want to make more diverse, more cultural events. We want to make more multicultural events. And if you can see our team, that's more diverse than anyone else, right?
All right, Alex, we'll move on to you then.
So seeing that George Brown is a diverse college, so what I plan to do is I strive to represent George Brown, so I would ensure that all students are recognized equally, no matter the ethnicity. I also have group activities that would ensure that everyone, no matter the ethnicity, would get allowed, I guess, in that activity.
All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna open up the floor to any questions. Now remember, there's questions to the candidates, to the position and not to the candidates alone, okay? Is there any questions in the audience? Yeah. Come on up.
I have a question from Alex.
Your position.
Communication and internal.
No, the general position. So
Both can answer. Can I have 2 responsibilities that are mentioned in bylaws? Can you explain me? Explain me 2 of your responsibilities that are mentioned in bylaws. Yeah, communication and internal. What you have to do?
Okay, so I know that I have to ensure that all students know about the benefits of what the student association has to offer, because as I see right now that not a lot of students use the services that SA has to offer. So that for sure, I would make sure that all students know about the bursaries and all the healthcare that they can offer on, and I know a lot of students don't know about that. So that's one. I would also ensure that I would also increase the social media, because we're living in the 21st century right now, where social media is relevant right now. It's kind of how people communicate now. So I would make sure that all our events, all our birthdays, and everything that we have going on in SA is advertised on social media.
Thank you. Go ahead, Gary. Let me finish the question.
All right, so my two main responsibilities to ensure that essays advertise very well, which it did. In the last year, we promoted scholarships and bursaries to almost like 600, 700 students of Georgetown. This year, we had a lot of applications to our GBC bursaries and awards, and as a record from foundation, this year almost we have like a lot of money and a lot of applications in the history of Georgetown. This year, a lot of students applied for bursaries and scholarships. And my second responsibility is I will be a chair of the board meeting. So I have an experience of chair, because right now I'm a chair of public relations committee. So I have experience for how to chair the meeting as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. And one more question.
Hi guys. Okay, this year the board of directors didn't add any new language to bylaws or pass anything that had to do with accountability for board members. So if elected, what would you guys do to ensure the board members are held accountable?
Yes, Gavin, one question.
So in terms of accountability, our last in our engineer, we have put a motion that any students can work with the college while they are working with the student association because that would be a conflict. So some people in the board were against it, and they kind of like pushed so hard to create that motion. I'll make sure that this motion will gonna continue this AGM, so upcoming AGM. We're gonna pass this motion for next year because let me tell you one thing. We have too many jobs. Why do you want to steal jobs from Georgetown students? I don't want to work with a college. I don't want to work with a Georgetown college because I'm working in a student association. I'm getting paid here. I don't want to steal any job from student association, Georgetown college. I don't want to steal job from any students. That job anyone can take, right? So I was against it. So I'll make sure for this year it will be a conflict.
Thank you.
Like that, I would make sure that any board member is accountable for any action that they take because I believe every action has to have a consequence or a reaction to. So if we go board members, if we do anything and we don't have a consequence or anything to it, I believe we won't know the value of it. So I guess if I get elected and I do something, I knowing that I could get in trouble for doing a certain action, I will make sure that I always do the right thing and speak for the students.
Perfect, thank you so much. I think we might have room for one more question, and that's it. Okay. Yeah.
We actually have more time.
All right, candidates, here's my question. As the directors of communication and internal, you obviously work very closely with the school in regards to marketing all the events that happen. Can you guys give me experiences of where you have marketed any type of events or programs that happen here at Georgetown, and how successful were they for the event and for yourself?
So as a current director of public relations, I want to just tell you one thing that it's not risky. So as a current director of public relations, I want to just tell you in my last previous term. So my responsibility was not to only promote events. I had a lot of responsibility to promote scholarships, services, events. Events was one of them. For events, for promotion of events, we have our events. You don't need like my efforts in that, okay? Because I've been promoting it, and if you see that I have a GDC job search page which has almost like 1,000 members till now. And I have an international student page which has almost like 500 members. So I've been promoting all services and events, students, and and they can see because only on international students. I'm not sure because you were there because we just had a New Year celebration. So we celebrated all the days and we promoted 3 sponsors some money to SACA.
In terms of marketing events or sponsoring events, I don't know if you guys know, I host almost every George Brown orientation that the school has since September. I think they're pretty successful because the students see me around the school and they're always coming up to me and talking to me, oh, you did a good job, you did a good job, and it makes the school much more entertaining. Not only the orientations that I hosted, I also hosted the New Year revival that happened, I guess 2 weeks ago, and that was a big success to all students from all different campuses, not only from George Brown, but students from York, UFT, and Ryerson also came to the event and they loved it. And also talent shows, and I also work with Student Life as well, and I host most of the Student Life events.
Perfect, thank you so much. We're gonna move on with the other candidates. Thank you so much for your time. I will select the next group to go up. And the next position up is Director of Campus Life. For Director of Campus Life, we have Samantha Tadeka, Rachel Gray, Lamar Holmes, Andrew Murrell, Mary Costa Tang. Come on up. And your question. The question is, what motivated you to run for this position? And we will start with you, Samantha.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on to our debate. I really appreciate you guys for even coming out and spending some time out of your day. The question was, what motivates me to run for this position? So I have participated in many events here at George Brown. I've also organized events here at the school. I have spoken to many students. I understand people, and I understand their needs and their desires. What motivates me to run for the position is my want to have a bigger and better life, for the entertainment that happens here in the school. I feel that as a candidate, I can also represent you because I listen. I want to listen to what you have to offer and your ideas, and I want to incorporate them into my campaign and everything that I do for the school. The students here are what motivates me to run for this position. I am your voice, and I want to represent you as your voice. So if you see me, stop me, let me know what you want to see in the 2015-2016 year, and we can go from there. I'm always open here.
Thank you. The next person up is Rachel Gray.
So I'm currently running with now. So what motivated me to run for this position, Director of Campus Life, initially I realized that all of George Brown students every year pay over $180 towards the Student Association. And taking this into account, I decided to go around the school and ask my classmates, ask my peers, if they saw this money come to fruition, if they've seen where this money is being spent, if they really feel that this money, because it's a significant amount of money, is being put to good use for them. Over 80% of students that I've spoken to have not seen this money necessarily, especially when it comes to events and participation in extracurriculars with the school. They feel there's a huge lack of engagement with the school and with a social life at George Brown in general. So that's really what motivated me to run for this position. Also, I'm currently in the special events planning program here at George Brown. So being in my fourth semester, I've spent the past 2 years here getting invaluable education in how to plan events, what attracts people to coming to events, how to appeal events to different target markets, and also really make a lot of people want to come out and enjoy their time. I understand that your time is valuable. I want you to come out to our events, have an amazing time, and not regret it whatsoever. So that's what motivated me to run for this position, and hopefully it goes well.
Thank you, Rachel. We will now move on to Lamar.
Good afternoon. So my name is Lamar.
So we're motivating me to run. John here for the last years as well, and especially with my program, being a social service worker student, so national helper. So I've had a great time, and I want future students, past students, to have the same experience I did. So I'd like to advocate using the skills I've got in my program. Also worked for the SA for the past 2 years and gotten a lot of feedback. So I just want to take all the things I've gotten back from people and make the right changes that they need based on the needs of students.
Thank you very much, Mark. Mary Koza is next.
Okay, hi. My name is Mary, for short to make it like easier. My main motivations are the students that don't come out to the event. So I want to know why they don't come out, what makes them not want to attend. Currently, I'm an event staff for the SA, so I help setting up, promote. So I want to know why they don't come out. I'm also a marketing student, so I learned how to market and advertise to certain groups of people, depending on our events, because we have a divide. We have multiple types of events. So because of my marketing background, I'll be able to market and advertise to those students that don't come out. And I'm willing to give out a personal contact for them for them to tell me why they don't come out, what needs to be done to get them to come out. I want everyone's college experience to be amazing. So far, my college experience is wonderful. I enjoy coming to George Brown and I love it.
All right, thank you, everybody. I will now open up the floor to Q&A. Is there any questions? Thomas?
So my question to the student life position, campus life now, what would you do to create a new student life? What would be your process in motivating the event staff, in getting out there and engaging with the students, and marketing the events, and reaching new markets? Students breaking into new demographics that don't traditionally come to our pub nights that happen every 2 weeks.
We'll start again with you, Samantha.
All right, so the question was, how would I market myself or market events to the new demographic? I feel that event squad needs more responsibility. So we need to have them at every campus, handing out flyers, speaking to the students at every campus. This will ensure that the word of mouth is spreading to every campus. Secondly, I feel like we need to be transparent with our operations and the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. A lot of the reasons why students don't come out to events, from my personal experience and interacting with the students, is that they don't know. They don't understand what the event is entailing or what the event offers. What we need to do as student association, and this is what I would do for you if I was your campus director, is we need to speak to the students. We need to listen to the students. We need to go to different demographics, whether it's different genres of music, different faculties, different student bodies, and we need to interact with these students. We need to get into their classrooms. We need to get into the hallways, into their different areas of focus. There are a lot of students that don't come to King's Lounge, that don't know about bursaries and scholarships. There are a lot of students that are at Castle Roma. There are a lot of buildings here at SJ that have no idea that student association events happen. What we need to do is we need to go to them, because if you're here, you know what's happening. If you're in the art and design building, you don't know what's happening. So we need to go to different buildings, we need to go to different faculties, and we need to accommodate to every single person that goes to the school. Because if we're not unified as a school, then we're never going to have amazing school spirit, and that is what we should be all about when it comes to campus life.
Thank you. We'll move on to Rachel.
Okay, so I've been very fortunate to have been able to run with a phenomenal group. We're called Act Now, and why I say that I'm so lucky to be doing this is because we have an amazing team where we work together. Things haven't even gotten started yet, but we feed off each other's energy like you have no idea. We push each other, we motivate each other, we support each other, we encourage each other. This year, if Act Now gets elected, there will be nothing the same as last year. In terms of events, in terms of all aspects of student association, because we're going to be working together to make sure that all demographics are reached out when it comes to specifically events. All demographics are reached. Everyone is appealed to our events that are going on, and everyone wants to, because they know that their time is not going to be wasted and that they're going to have an amazing time coming into the event, no matter what it is. If it's a cultural-based event, if it's a social-based event, if it's a networking event, a conference, whatever it is, they're gonna know that they're gonna have an amazing time because we have each other to work and support each other and encourage each other to make this year phenomenal for students.
Thank you, Rachel. We'll now move on to Lamar.
So the question was how do you reach more people? So I think first of all using better use of resources like the events squad, the space we have, social media, and just working collaboratively with students and the SAs so they can have an input of what they actually want. So based on their needs, cater to what they actually want. So that way we can get more people coming out. And I think that should drive more people to get involved with the SA, and like they are paying for it, so feel like they're actually getting the money's worth and the events they actually want and have some input, so they're just more motivated to come up.
Thank you, Lamar. Mary.
Okay, so every year the event squad is always a diverse group of people as well as from every campuses. But some of the campuses have restrictions. One of the main campuses I'm talking about is Waterfront about a post-grade, so maybe we could talk to the building maintenance or facilities people about the post-grade, so we can put a poster at Waterfront. Because from my experience being event staff, Waterfront students barely find out about events, and then they do very last minute. I want to change that. Casaloma also has a little bit harder to put up posters, and in certain areas there's like high frequency, in certain areas not so much. I want to increase that as well, using more essay resources, as well as getting to find out what days and what times are the best times to talk to students on one-on-one word of mouth. Our Ryerson campus is a little harder because there's small little times to reach Ryerson students. We have to hit all those times and hit all those moments on those certain days. That's what I want to do.
Thank you very much, everyone. I will now open the floor again to one more question. Yep, come on up.
Hi.
Hello. I just wanted to know how you guys were involved in the school, and how you will use your experiences to better next year.
We will have to make sure everybody takes very quickly to do the question because we're running out of time.
Alright, I'm not setting up this, sorry guys. Alright, so I came to George Brown in 2013 for the culinary management program, which is in hospitality. Things are really advertised over in hospitality, and I wanted to have the most amazing college experience. So I came over here to Mosaic, and I ran into Mosaic and Student Life. And through Mosaic and Student Life, I started my own club, and I became the president of that club, which has been running for 2 years. In February, I held the Nora Revival, which was a showcase that had over 150 people for my first event. I've also participated in fashion shows here. I've also participated in many volunteer events, including orientation. So, here at George Brown, have I participated in events? Yes. Have I organized events at George Brown? Yes. And including that, I have also organized events outside.
We're gonna cut that out, sorry. We're gonna move on to the next person.
Sorry, Sierra.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's no secret that I have not been involved with SA in previous years. However, I actually find that that is to my advantage. I offer completely fresh ideas, completely new ideas. I don't know really how the dynamics have worked in the past. All I know is from what I've seen, and what I've seen is that there could be a couple new changes. And so, having said that, I know that I'll offer fresh ideas, a new perspective to how things are going, and especially when it comes to events that are going on, because if students are supposed to come out, all of that, it's not just going to happen like this if we keep repeating ourselves the same way. So we have to have a new dynamic come in and work in that way. Okay?
So I've worked at the bar for the last few years, so I've worked most of the events and seen what works and what doesn't. So pretty much based on the feedback I've gotten from people, just making the right changes to drive more people in and get more money to SA so we can just get better services and reach more people.
Thank you, Lamar. Mary.
Okay, so I said earlier I'm a marketing student, and I started here in January. I helped out Student Life and Sam actually with fashion show last year. I helped out with the fashion show this year. I've been to a bunch of athletic games. I go to all the events. When I was for my first year, I volunteered and just helped out with the with the popular people. This year, I'm all current event staff, so yeah.
All right, great, thank you, everyone. We'll move on to the next position. Thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, it's on live.
Yeah.
But it's only one person live.
Really?
Yeah.
That's alright. It's probably meant.
And it's being recorded too.
Okay, I'll get the next position.
So it's being recorded and broadcast.
And the next position to go up is Director of Education. We have and your question is, what relevant experience do you feel qualifies you for this position? And we will start with you, Tinder.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jitendra Man. I'm your current Director of Education and Equity, and I feel so much blessed to stand in front of you guys and talking about my experience. First experience is I'm the current Director of Education and Equity, and I've been learning a lot about education and equity-based issues from this year. And I'm also a South Asia Director for a charitable organization which is called Aid for Hunger. What Aid for Hunger does from past 4 years is every year we do food drives and we collect food for unfortunate people, and then we give it out to a food bank so that they can give it out to those people. And also I was a president of my student council for 2 years, and I think this is enough. And action speaks louder than words, and I will make sure that every one of you will have a good time at George Brown College. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine.
Hello, everybody. My name is Christine McDermott. I am running for Director of Education, as you heard. So while working at the Welcome Desk, it is my duty to constantly inform people of services and help with wants, needs, and that they may have. It is my job to direct people in the right direction and give them advice on steps they may need to consider taking while looking for help and advice. Also, within me taking part in Student Leadership Academy, I've gained a great understanding of how to affect positive results with many different tasks and have the opportunity to experience conflict resolution strategies in order to resolve various issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now open up the floor for questions.
Hi guys, I'm from the Dialogue, and my question for the Director of Education would be, if elected, what changes would you make to the academic policies? Which changes to the academic policies would you advocate for? If elected as Director of Education, what changes to the academic policies would you advocate for?
Hi. So, not many people know, but I do have a learning disability, and I was diagnosed with this learning disability back in 2013. However, what I realized is, what if I did not have this learning disability and I just couldn't keep up with some of the lectures in class? Not many of the students that maybe just need a little bit of extra help know that they can get services in counseling, they can get services even from here at SA. And I want to make sure that each and every student knows that maybe if you do need a little bit more help in succeeding in your classes, there are services that are here to better your education. Everybody needs a fair chance to do well and graduate. And I want to make sure that these services are enforced and campaigned in every campus and in every building.
Thank you very much,
Very good answer, Ramasini. What I would do is, when I was a student in 2012, I had a trouble in one of my class. I was approached by one of my essay peers, and they told me that we have a policy in place which helps students to get your grades up. So I used that policy, but at that time, I think the policy, academic appeals policy, wasn't that much publicized, or it's not marketed well. So what I would do is we already have a really great policy in place. All we need to do is we need to make sure it's marketed properly to the students so the students know where to come when they have any kind of trouble in their grades. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You had a question, yeah?
Okay, George Brown is also called College of Multiculturalism, right? How can you bring diversity of multiculturalism in essay or essay group? Can you explain it?
Well, I'm the president of Mosaic, which is a club promoting diversity. So I think that speaks for itself. We do have Black History Month events, which many schools don't have within the month of February. We also do a lot of events catering to each cultural background. We want to make sure that we reflect all cultural diversities, all religions, all historic backgrounds that may come that we may not be aware of. I believe that SA needs more of this. Yes, we do have events, but does everybody know of them? Do they happen at Castle campus and at Waterfront campus? No, they don't. They mainly happen here. And I believe that we are a school. We are supposed to teach people about what goes on, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom as well. So thank you.
And I'm an international student. I'm a racialized, I belong to a marginalized community. And I'm doing Desi Night. Who knows about Desi Night? I've been in Desi Night for the past 4 years. This year I'm not organizing it, but I've been working with a great team of ACT now, which is all full of diverse people. And after coming to George Brown, I learned more about multiculturalism. I learned more about different religions. And we already celebrate Black History Month. But what I introduced this year, we are going to celebrate April as Sikh History Month. Our provincial government, Ontario, they realized 2 years ago that Sikhism is also a religion, and they celebrate April as Sikh History Month. So I'm the first person under my leadership. Sikh Awareness Month is coming to George Brown College. And also, one of my main goals would be this year, as an international student, I would work to get OE for international students. Because healthcare is not a privilege, it's a basic human right. We pay 3 times as normal Canadian students. Why don't we get a basic health coverage? Why do we have to pay $700 to $2,000 extra to get our health coverage? Why? I will make sure I will lobby the Ontario provincial government with the help of CFS, and we get OHIP for international students. Thank you so much.
Follow up to what you just said. Every point that you did make was appreciated, and hopefully become elected, I'll be able to enforce what you're talking about. But also, I'm somewhat of an international student myself. Just because I don't walk around saying it, I am. I have a cultural background. My mom is not born in Canada. I may have been, but the rest of my family is not. So just because you were born in a different country and can tell us about what religion doesn't mean you can tell us about Catholic people, Christian people, Jewish people, Muslim people. So in that I hope to allow.
I'm going to stop you there because I think that question is no longer, you're making it personal, so we're going to cut it off right here.
No, I haven't. He was talking about the events. As far as I was concerned, we weren't allowed to speak about events that we are a part of. Is that not true? So.
Yes, JP.
We're going to end it here. Thank you very much to both candidates. I'm going to pick the next position. And the next position is Director of Operations. In the running, we have Daniel Ali, Brittany Andrade, and Thomas Atwood. Brittany, so we're just gonna have the two of you. And your question. Got a long one, bear with me. Not all George Brown students utilize essay programs and services, but still pay mandatory fees that finance the essay. How will you ensure that these students benefit and see value from their contributions? And we're gonna start with you then.
I don't know what.
Do you want me to break it down for you or repeat myself? So not all George Brown students utilize the essay programs that are already in place, but they still pay the fee. How would you ensure that those students see the benefits and value of their contribution?
I don't really have any answer for that.
Okay, we'll start with Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas Haddon. I'm running for Director of Operations with the Act Now team. Act Now stands for Accountability, Change, and Transparency. So
just for
right from the start, we're looking to change the Student Association. We're looking to change the programs we have. And really that is to provide new programs that really reach out to those students that aren't seeing their money being given back to them. They don't feel represented at George Brown College. They see their money going into events that they don't feel welcome in. They don't see themselves coming to these events. So we need to create new events, new programs, new services, new workshops in which every student can see their over $180 coming back to them in direct physical means.
Perfect, thank you. Do you want to add anything to it? All right, we will open up the floor to questions and answers, please. Anybody? Yeah.
I just wanted to ask the ACT candidate if they're so committed
To the position.
Oh.
Make
Oh, okay.
So both of them have that.
Yeah, right, sorry. To both of you, would you vote for a transparency and accountability measure if tabled?
Transparency as of what? So the Student Association, our budgets every year are audited by a third party. And every year we've had completely unqualified audit reports. So that means there's been absolutely nothing wrong found with the finances. As well as every month our board reports are put up online on the Student Association website, studentassociation.ca, the George Brown College Student Association website. So our finances are completely open and transparent, as well as every student can see their fee breakdown on StudView. When you check your fees, it'll tell you exactly how much you're paying to which organization.
Okay, I'm kind of referring more to like conflict of interest, transparency, accountability. I understand there was something tabled this year in terms of conflict of interest policy and
Conflict of interest as to what?
as to working for the school while being on the board. I mean, both.
So this is something that we had some internal conversations about at the board level, and that was about should a member of the Student Association board also be able to seek part-time employment with the college. So, and this was a situation that arose on the student board. So to address that, my personal feeling on the issue is that for the representative and constituency positions, as well as campus director, they are not full-time positions. So you cannot expect a student to live off of a part-time salary in a part-time position. So in those situations, I believe that they should be able to seek part-time employment elsewhere, such as through the college, with the college. However, as this situation was, with the executive positions, they are 40 hours a week, it's a full-time commitment, and your executives should be fighting for you. You should be seeing your executives out every day. They should be planning activities for you. They should be managing your finances for you. They should be running your student association. So I do not believe that executives should be able to work at the student association and at the college. So that is something that I would be fighting for in the current coming year.
Thank you, Thomas. Dennis, do you want to add anything? No? All right, perfect. Do we have any more questions?
At the end of last year, the SA had a significant surplus coming back from a major deficit. In terms of all the funds, how are you going to ensure that all funds are monitored properly?
So as I said, we have all of our finances audited by a third party every year. So all funds are accounted for. The auditor checks each account, checks each budget line to make sure nobody is embezzling money in any way whatsoever. So all the money is accounted for financially. If there's any events, receipts are all provided, check recs are formed, and they are given to the finance coordinator. And then that goes to the accountants in the form of the filing and paperwork. So all of the money is accounted for. However, what I would like to see is, in the example of the surplus, I would like to see, and my personal goal as part of the Act Now team, and what we stand for, is seeing your money spent every year. We're not a for-profit organization. We're George Brown College Student Association. Each student pays over $180 to us every year, and you should be seeing that money coming back to you every year. We're not a for-profit organization. We should not be stockpiling money. If we have huge amounts of extra money, it's because we're not holding enough events. It's because we're not giving back enough services to the students. So that really stands out to me. The Student Association should not be making profits. We should be giving back to the students. Your $2.8 million should be coming back to you every year.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Any questions in the back?
Any questions in the back? Yeah.
Please.
Hi. All right. So very interesting comment that you just mentioned, where you said we're a not-for-profit. Okay. So my question is, if the best person to win with your position, how would you ensure that the money is properly allocated to students?
Okay, so the budget has already been created, and the budgets are created every year by the finance committee, in which